Coming up, we've got a chance to win $35,000, and I'll give you a bonus at the end of this video. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. That's right, it's our weekly NASCAR show where we preview the race, put in some picks to win $35,000. We have a good old time breaking down this weekend's NASCAR race. This weekend it's taken at Las Vegas at the South Point 400. Who doesn't love them some Vegas, baby? So much fun to be had out there. That's right, they're out there. It'll be a Sunday night race. Should be a lot of fun. Don't forget, on the NBC Sports Predictor app, they give away a chance to win $10,000. And over on at the Finish Line app, they give us a chance to win $25,000. So $35,000 in totals. Should be a lot of fun. We've been really, really close. I mean, if we just get a couple drivers and maybe edge out some of their competition, we'd be right there cashing. So we're knocking on the doorstep, and hopefully this is the week. Don't forget, guys, when I give you numbers and stats and statistics, one of the things I look at is a driver's history at this track at Las Vegas. But I go back to 2017 and I look at, their most recent stretch, which is 6 races. So if I mention any, races in the top 5, top 10, top 20, it's looking back at the 6 races. I then look at their entire body of work at Vegas. But in terms of the numbers I'll give you, it's only dates back to 2017. And of course, I look at what they've done here in the playoffs, their momentum, their hot streaks, and what have you. So let's jump on into it. Let's start over there at the NBC Sports Predictor app. Again, that's where we can win $10,000. You guys remember how it goes. They give you the 3 stages. You got to pick the driver that's going to finish best, and then you got to give them a top 3. So let's see if we can do it. All right, so for stage 1, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Alex Bowman. Look, he starts 8th, which we take into account here on stage 1. He finished 13th in Vegas earlier this season, which was 8 spots better than his competition. And his driver rating of 84.1 is also better than his competition. So give me Alex Bowman. Austin Dillon is who we're going to take in stage 2. He finished 4th in Vegas earlier this season, which again was better than his competition. And so far in the playoffs, he's finished 2nd, 4th, and 12th in those 3 races for an average of 6. And he is absolutely heating up and been on fires in the playoffs. I look for him to continue his hot momentum streak going on into Vegas. And then in stage 3, let's go ahead and give it to Joey Logano. Look, he's got 2 wins, 4 top 5s, 6 top 10s, an average finish of 4.3, which is second best. A driver rating of 118, which is second best, only behind Truex Jr. He won back in here. He won back in Vegas in February. He is absolutely killing it here. Numbers-wise, momentum-wise, he's doing really good. He has an average finish of 5.6 so far in the playoffs, so doing really, really well. All right, so as for a top 3, I'm going to go ahead and say Joey Logano goes ahead and wins this race this weekend. In second place, I'm going to give it to Brad Keselowski. He's got 1 win, 4 top 5s, 6 top 10s. He's never been out of the top 10 in the last 6 races here at Vegas. That is really phenomenal. A driver rating of 107.1, which is 4th best. But his average finish at Vegas of 4 is absolutely best. Give me Brad Keselowski to finish in second. And then in third place, let's go ahead and round it out with Kevin Harvick. How can you leave Kevin Harvick off of your list? He's absolutely the best driver on the planet. He has a third best driver rating of 116.4 at this track. 1 win, 3 top 5s, and 4 top 10s. So Kevin Harvick to round out the top 3. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump it over now to the Finish Line app. That's where we can win $25,000. You guys remember how this one goes. They give you 6 groups. Pick the best driver to finish amongst the group. Give me a winner. Give me a second place finish. So let's dive on into it. Group 1, let's go with Joey Logano. Group 2, let's go with Chase Elliott. Look, he's got a better driver rating at 99.6 amongst his competition. And back in the race back in February, he was the leader at stage. He was a leader at stage 1 and stage 2 before he had a finish of 26. So I didn't watch that race back in February, but he was obviously, the best driver of that day until something must have happened mechanical-wise, accident-wise, that, caused him to finish in 26. He's got 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s at Vegas, so I really like his pedigree here at Vegas. Group 3, let's go with Austin Dillon. Group 4, let's go with Matt DiBenedetto. He's got 16 spots better than his competition in February's race. That's a big discrepancy there and a big gap amongst the drivers he's penned up against, so we'll take Matty here. In Group 5, you guys know how I feel about Group 5 and Group 6. Really tough here. Group 5, let's go with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And I said it. It was painful to say it. But his driver rating of 75.7 is best. Outside of Matt Kenseth, he's only raced here once. But of guys that have raced here multiple times, 75.7 is best. And he finished third in Las Vegas back in February. Give me Stenhouse Jr., and let's just hope he doesn't wreck. Man, does this boy have a knack to wreck. He's either like wrecking into the walls or he actually does pretty decent. Let's just hope he can hold it together. He bowed out earlier last week in Bristol. He was the first car to crash out. Let's hope he's feeling like he wants to get in a lot of laps on Sunday's race. All right, Group 6, let's go with Michael McDowell. Look, he has an average finish of 17 during these playoffs, which is best amongst the guys he's pinned up against. So I'm going to go ahead and lean on momentum because when you're looking at a group of just kind of really crappy drivers, he's really heating up here in the playoffs with that average finish of 17 in these past 3 races. So I'll take him. You guys know for winner, I'm going Joey Logano, and for second place, I'm going Brad Keselowski. So that's how we'll round out our picks for a chance to win $25,000 on the finish line at $35,000 in totals. Again, guys, we've been really close, really close. There's only 7 more races here left in the season. I feel like it's going to happen. It's going to cash. While we may not be cashing on these fantasy games, what we are cashing for is real bets. We've been on a really hot streak here for about probably the last 10 races. We took off Daytona because of the mayhem that it ensues. So because of that, we know we get Talladega coming up next week. It's going to be the same thing as Daytona, where you always get a couple of the big wrecks and it's a little unpredictable. So I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but I may not put in any bets for Talladega. So I put in 4 bets coming up for the head-to-head competition here on Las Vegas. The first one is going to be Kyle Busch over Blaney. This fits our winning strategy of driver in the playoffs versus driver out of the playoffs. That would be Kyle Busch, who's still in the playoffs while Blaney has bowed out. Go ahead and give me Kyle Busch. He's also got some really good numbers here at Vegas, while Blaney, this is not one of his better tracks, so I like Kyle Busch. And then the next one I'm going to go with is Kevin Harvick over Truex Jr. Look, the best driver on the planet. His average in the 3 playoff races is 3 with 2 wins. I mean, the guy's absolutely incredible. Meanwhile, we know Truex Jr., he runs good, but he doesn't win like Kevin Harvick does. And he also finds a way to finish maybe in the middle of the pack. So the inconsistency with Truex Jr., with the actually bona fide best driver on the planet, Kevin Harvick, got to go ahead and give me Harvick there. The next one we're going to do is I'm going to do Dillon over Bowyer. Already justified the pick there with Dillon. So I like Austin Dillon over Clint Bowyer. And then Eric Jones over Jimmy Johnson will be our 4th bet. Look, Eric Jones, we've talked about him being a free agent. He's running good in these playoffs because he is a free agent. He wants to get a deal for next season. You can tell the way he's driving. He's having really good performances. Meanwhile, Jimmy Johnson, we've talked about his swan song and maybe wanting to do good. It just doesn't look like it's happening for him. He doesn't have that motivation to put it together, while he's also respecting drivers that are in the playoffs and letting them compete and go at it really hard, as you would a true veteran and really just a top-class driver that Jimmy Johnson is. But go ahead and give me Eric Jones, because my man is driving for a deal next season. That's going to push him over the edge past Jimmy Johnson. All right, so those are my 4 real bets. All right, guys. Let's enjoy this race on Sunday. It's going to be really good. The South Point 400. It's the 4th race of the NASCAR playoffs. Let's see how it unfolds. I'm Jason Mattis.
Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.